Howdy y'all, Stock Warden here back with another video. And today we're looking at Archer Aviation, and man, they have come out with some great new news coming from the Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, where everybody has been anxiously sitting and watching for a whole number of reasons, not only through the government and also a lot of that fight with Greenland, but there were a lot of huge key players at the World Economic Forum, and Archer was one of them. So let's dig a little bit into the news so we can kind of see where Archer Aviation is looking at moving next. So to start off, we originally had a resistance line set up, the last video that I had made, at $9.02 a share. Now, if we currently stay the course of this trend, you can see that it is still staying on that same resistance line where it's not looking like it's moving just yet, but it is staying ever so much closer to this resistance line to possibly come out for a breakout to be able to finally break this $9 a share curse. So, but as right now, on the downside of things right now, Archer filed a new SEC paperwork that allows a small group of shareholders to resell their existing stock. However, Archer Aviation made it clear that it will not receive any cash from these sales. Specifically, they are releasing this for up to 340 some odd thousand shares that are going to be issued as part of a business acquisition. Now, there's not a whole lot of news on what the business acquisition is and or where that's coming, so I'm sure that's going to be coming in very soon. So stay tuned for what they end up coming through and buying or acquiring for that. So far, instead, this filing is mainly giving those shareholders the option to sell their shares in the open market over time. So instead of just making one giant sell-off in a typical all or none, so then there's no immediate sell pressure that's going to be implied on these specific shareholders. So the share count as of right now is just a small relative to Archer's total outstanding stock, which stood at more than 651 million shares, and that specific was taken as of September 30th of 2025. So, but right now they are shifting a lot of their operations and bringing in a huge new network build out. So they have a long-term operating plan. Obviously, whenever they had created their acquisition of key assets at the Hawthorne Airport in California, which is what they're going to end up planning to use as a core hub for the LA air taxi network. And not only that, that kind of goes into them being vamped and ready for the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics because they have the contract for that. So that's still in the works. They're still holding strong on that front. So looking ahead, Archer has outlined options to expand their hangar space and acquire a majority's stake in the airport's fixed base operation. So those steps, once again, are to make a broader effort to secure even more infrastructure ahead of their expected service launches, along with trying to make sure that they have enough air taxis to go around for that Olympic share, because they want to make sure that they don't end up coming up short on being able to move people in and out. So now on another good side of things, right now Needham reiterates their buy on Archer Aviation and is still maintaining a $10 price target. So given if we get to a $10 price target, that would get us through this breakout on this practical $9 a share resistance. And once we can come out of that, then the $10 a share marker, there's really not much of a resistance that I see on the $10 marker. So it should be able to continue moving in a more upward trend until we get closer to 12, in my opinion, looking at how the stock has moved up and down in the past, back towards the end of last year. So that is also a good thing for Archer Aviation. But they did also get something huge out of the economic forum in Davos, Switzerland. So they made it to where Serbia has the option to purchase an initial fleet of Archer's Midnight aircraft, and they're planning on buying up to 25 aircraft. So, and that came back on Wednesday. So, because Serbia is planning on making electric vertical takeoff and landing aircrafts a specific move to where they want to bring that to be their preferred aim for new age transportation. So, that's bringing Archer Aviation expanding into global markets. So that in itself is going to be absolutely huge. So this is going to be a huge positive for Archer Aviation to be able to add its aircraft order book with an option order, but also a more meaningful positive will be whenever they're able to demonstrate the full flight envelope on those Midnight aircraft. So, but all of that is coming up really soon because they are already training their pilots and getting everything set up for them to get their first full launch with fully trained, overtrained pilots. So the electric air taxi makers are ramping up, obviously, all of their expansion efforts amid growing demand for a faster and more sustainable urban transportation method. So, with Archer's move comes as it builds on a public-private partnership to be able to launch this aircraft into international markets, not only including the Serbia, but also to be able to bring it to the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Japan, and South Korea, because all of those also took a huge note at Archer Aviation's evital system as well. So they also will now be the official air taxi partner for the Expo in 2027 for Belgrade. So this event is scheduled to take place from May through August in 2027, which is expected to showcase next generation transportation and the benefits of air mobility. So last year, as we already know, Archer was named the official air taxi for the LA 2028 games, and that's more or less where we've been pretty steady on, knowing that Archer Aviation has that huge slot for 2028, but you bring in something now that's even on a closer and shorter timeline, but has a lot longer of a trajectory where the Olympics might only last a short time, but this huge expo lasting from May through August, and it also being in 2027, means that Archer Aviation is going to end up being being up in the air and being completely compatible with everybody a lot sooner, a whole year sooner than what we had all originally expected for Archer Aviation to really be getting off the ground and pushing fast, because we were just looking at the LA 2028 Olympic Games. Now we get to look at early 2027, them moving the public. So that is something that's going to be huge, because then that only gives them pretty much the next 18 months, not even the next 18 months, for them to come off the ground and hit the skies running, quite literally, because they're going to be carrying people and the public at a huge scale, because a Belgrade Expo is absolutely massive. So all of that is something that is now bringing even more people into Archer Aviation now. So then it's possible that this stock is going to start getting back into a bull trend throughout this year as they complete more flights, they get more comfortable in the skies, and then they finally get to start moving people in just a little bit over a year's time. And as soon as that goes off without a hitch, there is no telling where this evital stock is going to go. In my opinion, it's going to go up. The stock is going to go up just as fast as their air taxis can go up. So I hope y'all enjoyed all that. That's all the news that I have on Archer Aviation as to date. So if y'all like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoy Archer Aviation, and if you hold any of Archer Aviation stock, then drop it down in the comments below how long you've been holding Archer Aviation and how bullish you see this stock coming through. Because I know I see this stock going a lot higher than where it is now, and it's definitely a good thing that we're all able to see the writing on the wall and get in early. So, this is the Stock Warden riding off. See y'all come back now, you hear?